This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. The New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, get a expected win over the Phoenix Suns, 138-122. Take that trip out to Phoenix and come away with a big win that the Knicks needed. 4 games in a row. Now, for the New York Knicks, they beat the Brooklyn Nets twice. They beat the Washington Wizards. And now they just destroyed. Well, I don't want to say they destroyed, but, you know, they basically dominated the basketball game versus the Phoenix Suns. No Kevin Durant, ladies and gentlemen. No Bradley Beal. So, of course, they were shorthanded. But no matter what, the New York Knicks took care of business. I mean, they had 74 points in the first half, I think it was. 44 points in the first quarter. The Knicks right now are one of the best scoring teams in the NBA. They're currently ranked 7th in scoring in the NBA. But I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to change really, really quick if the Knicks continue to score the way that they're scoring. The Knicks right now are 7th in scoring in the NBA, averaging 116.9 points per game. And that actually doesn't include tonight's game. So once everything updates, the Knicks will probably move up to, 4th or 3rd or 4th in scoring in the league. Coming into tonight's game, the Knicks were 2nd in field goal percentage, shooting 50% from the field. Now, the Knicks are only shooting 87.6 shots per game. That is low in the NBA. The Knicks are 19th in field goal attempts per game, but they make a high percentage of their field goal attempts. So when we talk about field goals made, the Knicks are 2nd in the NBA behind the Cleveland Cavaliers at 43.8 field goals made per game. And that's because the Knicks shoot a high percentage. So in the past, I said, you know what? The Knicks need to shoot a higher, not a higher percentage, but they need to shoot more from the field. But if their field goals made are 2nd in the league, then maybe they don't need to shoot more from the field, and maybe they need to continue to be efficient from the field. 3-point attempts. The Knicks are attempting 35.4 3-point attempts per game. Now, their field goal percentage is 38.8. That's 3rd in the NBA. Their attempts, though, are low, right? The Knicks only attempt 35.4. That's 21 in the NBA. And their 3-pointers made is 11th in the NBA. So, I'd like to see the 3-point percentage, the 3-point attempts go up a little bit. And if the Knicks 3-point attempts go up, their 3-pointers made go up, their field goal attempts go up, their scoring goes up. Again, tonight, the Knicks 30 assists tonight. All right, as we speak, coming into tonight's game, the Knicks were averaging 27.6 assists per game. That was good for 9th in the NBA. I'm sure it went up just a little bit tonight. So offensively, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks, they're good. They're good. They're very good. And when it's all said and done, they may be scary good, to be honest with you. They may be scary good. Now, defensively, they've got some work to do. The Knicks are 22nd in the league in defensive rating. Look, this is an offensively an offensive-minded team. They're going to score points. It's going to happen. They're going to score. We know that. The Knicks don't need to be in the top 5 in defense. They probably won't be. Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson are not the top defenders in the league, but they're the top players on the Knicks team. But they're two very, very good, two of the top offensive players in the league. But if the Knicks can get that defensive rating into the top 10, that's good enough for me. Can they? We'll see. Will this team be able to outscore teams? Yeah. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to those playoffs, they're going to need to lock some teams down in order to win. So, yeah, I'd like to see that defensive rating come up. But, I said it early on before the season started that I thought the offense was going to be not way ahead, but it is way ahead right now. But the offense was going to be ahead of the defense, and the defense would need to catch up. We'll see if the defense can catch up. It's got to catch up if the Knicks are going to contend the way that we think and hope that they can contend, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to catch up. If it doesn't catch up, the Knicks will only go so far. But with Tom Thibodeau at the helm, I think they'll find a way to make that defense work. They'll find a way to make that defense come together. Taking a look at the box score, ladies and gentlemen, they were led in scoring. The Knicks were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson. Had kind of a breakout game for the season. Shot 57% from the field, 7 for 11 from the three-point line. I mean, at one point, he had made 14 straight threes versus the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, right? 9 for 9 last season. He was 5 for 5 at some point tonight. Ended up missing a couple in the second half. But Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 10 assists for Jalen Brunson. And I got a feeling those assist numbers are going to go up. And if we're talking about Jalen Brunson, if we're talking about JB taking his game to another level, some people asked, can he take his game to another level after last season? Well, if he ends up averaging 9, 10 assists per game with, 27, 28 points per game, that's definitely taking your game up to another level. And the Knicks will need that from Jalen Brunson. 10 assists tonight from Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just nice numbers across the board for JB. Karl-Anthony Towns, another double-double. He's becoming a double-double monster for this basketball team. 34 points, 10 rebounds for Cat. 2 assists, 1 steal. He shot 63% from the field. 37.5% from the three-point line. He was 3 for 8, 7 for 8 from the free throw line. 19 points for Josh Hart, 11 rebounds, another double-double for him. 6 assists for Josh Hart. He's just that all-purpose guy that's out there on the floor. OG Anunoby, 14 points. Mikal Bridges had 16 points. And everybody shot well from the field, ladies and gentlemen. The worst shooting percentage on the Knicks team tonight was Campaign at 44.4% from the field. He had 12 points. That was the worst shooting percentage tonight by one single player for the Knicks. Well, I'm sorry. Dadier went 0 for 1, but we're not going to count that. Really, really good numbers for the New York Knicks tonight. They took 39 threes, right on par for they're averaging 35.7 or whatever it was that we just looked at. They will be at 39 to 43s per game, right? Early season numbers have the Knicks down in three-point attempts, but they will be up to 40 three-point attempts per game. I'm positive of it. A 30-assist night again for the New York Knicks. And guess what? They're going to average 30 assists per game. I would not be surprised if the Knicks are the number 1 assist-getting team in the league by the end of the season. At least top 5, maybe top 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're number 1. Not at all. For the Phoenix Suns, They were led in scoring by Devin Booker. Who else would it be? With no Kevin Durant, no Bradley Beal. Devin Booker had 33 points tonight. He shot well from the field. There just was not enough support for Devin Booker out there on the floor. 17 points from Royce O'Neal. 15 points from Tyus Jones. 10 points from Monte Morris. Everybody else in single digits. They still scored 122 points. And, I mean, they didn't shoot the ball bad. They took 53s on the night. 50. 92 field goal attempts for the Phoenix Suns. And they took 50 three-pointers. And, of course, that's happening across the league. It's pretty much commonplace now, that a team is going to shoot a very, very high number of threes in the league. That's just the way that things go right now. That's the way that the basketball game is changing. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, again, led in scoring by Jalen Brunson, with 36 points. He's doing his thing out there. The Knicks, they out-rebounded the Phoenix Suns 48-41. Both teams have 30 assists, 10 steals for the Knicks, only 13 turnovers for the Knicks. A little bit higher than we've seen in the past couple of days. Knicks shot 58% from the field, 48.7% from three, 90.5% from the free throw line. The Phoenix Suns, 48.9% from the field, 38% from three, 76.5% from the free throw line. The Knicks dominate the points in the paint, 60-44. Suns win the second chance points, 15-9, and the Knicks with 14 fast break points in the first quarter. Their defense, they were getting steal after steal after steal. 14 fast break points in the quarter, ended up with 28 for the game. The Phoenix Suns ended up with 10 fast break points for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks dominated the game. The type of game that you want and you love to see from the Knicks. And I'm not ready yet to say that they've turned the corner, though. Right? Because, they hit a spot in the schedule where they played some weak teams, Brooklyn Nets, the Washington Wizards, and the Phoenix Suns should have been a good team. They started the season 8-1. They would have been a very good team, coming into this game if it weren't for Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant being hurt. You know what I mean? So they got a soft spot in the schedule, and they took advantage of it and got wins. And now they're 9-6, 3 games above 500. Exactly where you want the New York Knicks to be, given the start to the season. Right? 15 games in. 3 games above 500, 4th in the Eastern Conference. Right? They're tied with the Orlando Magic. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, the Cleveland Cavaliers take a loss. The Boston Celtics have 3 losses. The Cavaliers are 16-1. The Boston Celtics are 12-3. So, the Knicks are 6 games behind Cleveland. There's still a chance. There's still a chance there. At some point, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to go on a losing streak. We'll see what happens from there. Looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference, though, the Cleveland Cavaliers, 16-1, Boston Celtics, 12-3, Orlando Magic, 9-6, Knicks, 9-6. Miami Heat are 6-7. They're in the 5th spot in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Pistons are 7-9. They're in the 6th spot right now. Will they stay there? I don't know. But looking below them, Atlanta, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Indiana, you would expect that Milwaukee and Indiana are going to move up. One of those 2 teams will move up into that 6th spot and maybe knock out Miami and move into that 5th spot. So you would think that Detroit is going to falter at some point, but maybe not. You never know what's going to happen. Right? Atlanta, 7, Brooklyn, 8, Milwaukee, 9, Indiana, 10. Chicago is in the 11th spot. Charlotte, Toronto, Washington, Philadelphia round out the rest the Eastern Conference for 11 through 15 in the order that I named them. In Philadelphia, 2-12 on the season. They've lost 5 in a row. That's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, to me. It's one of the teams that you thought was going to be a contender in the Eastern Conference with the addition of Paul George, Joel Embiid, and they got Tyrese Maxey. And I know guys have been out. Joel Embiid has been out. Tyrese Maxey has been out. So but man, are they too far behind the 8 ball to catch up? 10 games below 500. They got a lot of work to do. I don't know. Can they get that done? I guess we'll find out. T. Crow, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling? You muted, bro. You muted.
What's good, son?
What's
Shout out
good
to the
with you,
chat.
bro?
Your
What's
black
good with you?
Good win. Good win. You know what I mean? Took care of business. I do got the Orlando Magic at 9-7, and that's at the third seed.
Okay, maybe the NBA hasn't, NBA.com, maybe they didn't update yet, or my browser hadn't updated yet.
Just gotta take credit when credit's due. We in the third seed right now.
Yeah, well, we need that. We need that. What's your thoughts on tonight's win?
Took care of business. Came out early, struck early. The defense looked real good early. They continue to fight and get back in the game. Obviously, I would have preferred it not that way, but they still kept that lead, maintained it. I think 13. I think they got under 13 once. 13 was that number that they couldn't get under in the first half. And then in the second half, I think they might have cut it to 12 at one point, and we got it right back up to like 19. So we took care of business tonight.
Yeah. Do you think the Knicks have turned the corner?
I mean, it's looking that way. You know what I mean? Like we still have to do it against a more quality opponent. You know what I mean? Or a whole opponent. So, you know what I mean? A whole team that's not injured or whatever the case. But you know what I mean? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we're taking care of the business that we're supposed to.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I mean?
That's true. I still think there's ways to go before they turn the corner, or we can say that they turn the corner. I need to see it on the defensive side. Right now, they rank pretty low in defensive rating, so I need to see it on the defensive side. I need to see them get stops. I need to see them. I mean, we see it against the Brooklyn Nets. They won a game in the clutch. I need to see them get into a clutch situation and get a win, right? By playing some tough defense, playing some scrappy basketball, and, scoring the basketball. You know what I mean? I need to see it against a quality basketball team, too. So there are a lot of hurdles that this Knicks team needs to go through, I think, in order to turn that corner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that they need to go to in order to turn the corner.
That first half, though, they show some glimpses defensively. You know what I mean? A lot of points off turnovers and just the defense initiating the offense, which I think eventually that's the long-term goal, to be a part of a staple of what we do.
Yeah. If the Knicks can get themselves up to a top 10 defensive team. Now, Tony in the chat says that they're 9th in defensive rating. That's not bad. I was just on NBA.com, and maybe this game hadn't been updated, but they were at like 20-something in defensive rating. So, we'll see.
I don't think this game would have changed that much because we still gave up 122 something.
122, yeah. I mean, and they shot the ball well. It's not like they didn't shoot the ball well. They shot the ball well. Yeah, defensive rating right now at 9-6. Yeah, 115.6, 22 in the league for the Knicks. If they can get that into the top 10, I don't even need them to be in the top 5. If they can get that into the top 10, with the way that this offense is,
I
You
think
know,
top 10 is a stretch. And I
mm,
only say that because of where we are now.
mm-hmm.
Like, I think we could get to 12 by like end of the season and then be top. You know what I mean? We could turn it up even more in the playoffs. But I don't
Okay.
know if we could reach, you know what I mean? We could reach 10. That's a long jump.
So,
You know what I
so,
mean?
and maybe we can't reach 10, but let's just say from a certain point in the season
Yeah.
on, we're a
Yes.
top 10 team.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? So
Yep.
at a certain point, we're playing top 10
hmm
defense.
I agree with that.
You
I
know,
agree
the
with that.
overall rating, yeah, I agree because right now they're 22nd in the league or whatever it is. You know, it may be hard to climb into the top 10. Right? I mean, right now the defensive rating for the Pistons is 111.4. They're number 10.
Mm.
Right? The Knicks is 115.6. You know, that's really kind of a wide difference. You know, when you look at the numbers, you know what I mean? Because it's like, between 10 and 15, there's just a 1.2 percentage rating difference. You know what I'm saying? So that, with it being so close, it kind of shows you that going up 4 points. Now, there's only 15 games in the season, though.
That's true too. That's
So
true
with it
too.
only being 15 games into the season,
I, I was just about to say we get 4 games where we hold teams
yeah,
under 100.
right.
That might
That can change it.
put us in the top 10 right there, and then to maintain that spot might not be as difficult.
Right, right. That can change it. So, let's see if we can get a couple of games like that where we hold teams under 100. I don't know. I was saying earlier, Tony, we were talking about the field goal attempts. The Knicks are averaging 87 field goal attempts per game right now. That's 20 something in the league. But to defend the Knicks,
It's creeping up.
it's creeping up, or it's 19th in the league, 87.5, 19th in the league. But to defend the Knicks, their field goals made is second in the league.
Mm.
Right? The Cleveland Cavaliers have 46 field goals made per game. The Knicks are at 44.2 field goals made. So if they can continue to shoot a very high percentage from the field, then maybe the field goal attempts doesn't hurt you as much. Right? Because right now they're second in the league in field goal percentage at 50.5. The Cleveland Cavaliers are at 52.2. Where I think you're really seeing the difference, though, for the Knicks in those field goal attempts are right now are the 3-point attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The 3-point attempts are at 21, 35.6. Now the 3-pointers made is a little bit higher. 14.1 3-pointers made per game. That's 11th in the league. Their attempts is way down at 21. If they can get those attempts up, right, and it's been up, but if they get those attempts up to about 40 per game, right now the Celtics, I mean, even 40
like
per
50.
game, the Celtics are at 50 attempts per game. 50 attempts, and they only take 90.5 field goal attempts altogether.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-point attempts, that's what they got to get up. I mean, tonight, with the Knicks, I think they attempted 30. The Knicks attempted 39 3-pointers. They still only took 86 shots.
Mm. So my only thing about the attempts is I don't care if we at 80 something attempts per game, as long as we not giving up 100 attempts. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So as long as we not getting beat in the shot attempts per game, I don't care where it is. You know what I mean? But we can't be having the other team like Boston did have 20 more attempts than us and 30 more threes than us attempted. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's what I think has killed us in a lot of our losses.
Right.
Would
mean,
would that be considered controlling the pace, or like how? What do you think dictates that? Because you can't, obviously you can't have your shot attempts go off the amount of what they're doing. You got to do what you do regardless of
you got
what's
to do what
going
you
on
do.
the other side. But
Right.
what do you think the science behind that is? Where some nights a team is just shooting. Is that just the pace, their pace, or
Yeah, I think the Knicks are going to play at their pace and what's comfortable for them, right? Um, there'll be nights when I guess they do shoot a higher, number of threes. I mean, not threes, but attempts. But I think it's the pace at which they play. They're a slower team. They don't have, we're not a speed team.
well, I think also our defense is what changes that.
It
When
could.
our defense is rocking, you know what I mean, our pace increases. You know what I mean, and then it becomes kind of like a rhythm thing. At least that's what I saw tonight in the first half.
Yeah,
The defense was creating quick and easy shots, and then you know what I mean. It was just possession after possession.
yeah, yeah. That was early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Early in the game.
And then turnovers go up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how things develop as everything goes on. How does everything develop with the Knicks? As far as just everything. I mean, listen, they're going to have, in my opinion, they're going to have a top 3 offense, I think, in the league. It's rounding in the shape, the offense. We need the defense to get there, but the offense is rounding in the shape. You know what I mean? The Knicks, yeah, they'll have a top 3 offense in the league. And if they can make it, if they can pick that defense up and now and all of a sudden have it, not all of a sudden, but build it into a top 10 defense, some people mention NBA Finals. That could be a real goal for the Knicks, and that could be reality if you can get up to a top 10 defense and have a top 3 offense. That can definitely be a reality for this team. You know what I mean? Very 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 anxious to see how things are gonna transpire.
You think we could get there without Mitchell Robinson or before Mitchell Robinson?
Maybe. We just Mitchell Robinson brings athleticism and length. We have to do it a different way. Because we're not going to have the same length without Mitchell Robinson. Maybe not the same athleticism. Mitchell Robinson is going to protect the paint. Even if he's protecting the paint, we still got to have guys. We still can't let guys penetrate, right? We got to find ways to stop them from penetrating in the perimeter, or Mitchell Robinson is going to be in foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, I think, though, we can. You get Precious back. We get Deuce back. 2 defensive guys out there, rebound and hustle. We can change it. And as that starting 5 gets more on the same page defensively, you know what I mean? And how you utilize the players that you have, I think we can do it without Mitch. Can't wait to see what the team looks like with Mitch and with Precious, though.
They said Precious is clear for practice.
Good.
So,
Nice.
so I wouldn't be surprised if he get minutes next game, considering there's so many days off between when we play Saturday.
We play Saturday.
So
against Utah.
I'm sure there's gonna be a practice in between.
Oh yeah.
He might need a few though. He might need a few.
He might need a few. Yep. Minnesota Rondo is in the chat. He always comes around when we play the Timberwolves. We don't play the Timberwolves yet, but he always comes around. I think he's a Knicks fan, but I think he's a Knicks fan.
I remember.
Right? Yeah, I think he's a Knicks fan. So I'm sure he's over there watching Julius Randle.
We was talking trash the first time we seen him, in the chat.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Nah,
I'm a
Knicks
Knicks fan. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'm glad he you know, glad he's always glad he's showing up, man. Glad he's here. Great win from the New York Knicks. Great win from the New York Knicks, man. We should be able to beat the Utah Jazz, which means we can be on a 5-game win streak. Be 10-6, and we're starting to look like our record is starting to look like the team that we expected.
Mm-hmm.
It calms the nerves of a lot of people because a lot of people was getting a little bit nervous, like, oh snap, what's going on? We're gonna have one of these type of teams, So, what do you think about Brunson's performance though tonight?
I loved it. It was so balanced. You know what I mean? So balanced, especially that first half. Like he was scoring the ball, but he was assisting the ball, and I thought it was equally as effective, and it really kept the defense, off guard. They didn't know really what to, like what to try to stop.
Yeah,
because he was really breaking them down, picking them apart, and that's a nice adjustment to see him pick them apart on both sides. With passing and with scoring.
Yeah. 10 assists tonight for Jalen Brunson. And I'm starting to feel like that can be the norm for him.
Yep. Because he should have had 12. What I mean? He should have had 13.
Yeah. Really starting to feel like that can be the norm. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I really just intended for this to be a short show because it's 1:27. It's already 1:30 in the morning. Maybe tomorrow night we can do Luce's Lounge tomorrow night since we got some time before the next game.
It's in there, so we good.
Bet we can do that because it's 1:30. Got to get up early. I got my first game tomorrow. Girls, we got our first game tomorrow. We got a lot to work out, a lot to work through. But I'm optimistic about what we can do with the girls that we have. I'm optimistic about it. We got a lot of young players, young girls on the team. Got an 8th grader. I always got a young team. 8th grader, freshman, 8th grader starting, a freshman starting, 2 juniors, and I got 2 freshmen starting, an 8th grader and 2 juniors. So we got, we're gonna take some bumps. You know what I mean? I got a sophomore on the bench, got another freshman on the bench, and I think another freshman on the bench. A sophomore and 2 freshmen on the bench. So we're gonna be young, taking bruises, bumps and bruises out that joint. But we're gonna learn.
Those be the fun times too, though.
Yeah, we're gonna learn.
You get to see the growth.
Get to see the growth. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we're banking on. But ladies and gentlemen, man, we didn't expect this to be a long one. Because it's 1:30 in the morning. And I got to get up early. And start preparing my mind so that we can win tomorrow. So. Coach, he said, "Do I ever play?" Well, I'm not even coaching AAU anymore, man. I'm coaching high school right now. So we don't really play. We're not. No, can't say we're playing in any Georgia circuits because coaching high school. Now when I was coaching AAU, boys AAU, we played in a few big tournaments. In Atlanta, Alpharetta, Georgia. A few huge tournaments down there. The Peach Jam is down there every single year. John Wall used to have this huge tournament down there when he was with Adidas, every year. And we would go to John Wall's tournament every year. A lot of tournaments down there that we used to go to. It was dope. It was dope. We go down there for like 7 days. Gotta watch what them young dudes was doing, sneaking out at 2:00 in the morning, doing God knows what. You know what I mean? All kinds of wild stuff. But it's fun times, though. You know what I'm saying? Fun times. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate your time. I'm headed to bed. Hopefully you are doing the same. You know what I mean? And catch y'all tomorrow night. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.